How's it going?
Hi.
So I heard you had a fun experience with the new fence charger.
Maybe.
So we have changed our fence charger. Now we used to have a point 1 joule fence charger. So that's 0.1 joules. And you might think that that's nothing at all. And I have touched it, and there is a video on that. I'm probably going to have to clip that in because you got to have the comparison. I'm wearing rubber boots, so that could insulate it, I don't know.
Okay.
But I did do a bit of reading, and it says rubber boots won't necessarily prevent you from getting a shock from an electric fence.
Okay.
So if we don't feel anything, that could be that too.
Okay.
Then I'll have to try it barefoot, I guess.
Nice.
All right, let's see. Maybe the rubber, oh, sweet Carlton's ghost. Okay, so there is a bit of a shock there.
Sweet Carlton's ghost.
Okay, yep, okay, so there is a bit of a shock. I would describe it as a static charge on steroids. That's what it felt like. The second one kind of blew my hand off it, and the first one was kind of like a spasm in the arm. So the whole idea is that they're going to touch that with their nose. I would never put my nose on that knowing what I know now. So hopefully the very first time they do it, it'll work. We know it's on and we know it works, so this is wonderful. This is the first step in protecting our fences, hopefully.
Exactly.
And it felt like it's hard to, yeah, but it was slightly shocking from the point it was like kind of like touching something hot. You just kind of want to let it go right away. And it's kind of like, oh, that's irritating. Now, we don't have this on video, and for some reason, somebody's not going to touch it, but you did accidentally. So what did this feel like?
So what I was trying to do, basically, was I was trying to slip the wire out of an insulator in the back.
Yeah, give us an example.
No, to get the animals to come into the expansion, because I haven't bought the pieces yet for the gate
Right.
part. So it's just kind of like this, and I've just been like kind of popping it out of the insulator when I want to move them. And so I was doing it with my toe, trying to like get it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had my hand like this. I don't know why it was in a sleeve, but it was in a sleeve on top of the page wire fence.
Okay.
And the shock started in my toe and basically came to like right here. And I kept staring at this after cursing, obviously. I expected a blooming wound. I don't know why, but
that's what it felt like, kind of like a hole exploded.
Like I expected a wound.
Yeah.
Now it didn't like, oh my God. It was exactly the only way to describe it is it was a shock.
Yeah.
Like a complete shock. I don't know what I thought was going to happen, but with the other one, I used to be able to kind of move it with my toe and get it out, and I wouldn't feel anything.
And the other one, we actually had to rub the wire, and there was almost a delay. Like, it could be a second or two, which wasn't great anyway. This can literally zap you through clothing, which is exactly what we want. We didn't mention this at the beginning, but it is a 6-point-something joule.
6.3.
So to compare, that's 33 times. No.
I think it's like 60-something.
Every 10 is 10. So it's 63 times stronger.
It's more powerful.
It is so much more powerful that it could almost blow you out of your pants. And so it's just too bad that you just won't show us. Just your hand is so close. Just you can lift your finger. Just
touch it. No,
come here, touch it.
Touch it. Touch it.
Okay. We're not getting it on video apparently.
So it
Cujo, do you want to touch that with your nose?
Yeah, and you would see Beetlejuice actually tested it with his face, I believe.
Yes.
He was super sad.
We have a video of that where Beetlejuice actually, his entire personality changed for a day. Yeah. So we can now talk about the differences, and I would say the point 1 actually did something. Mm-hmm. If you have an animal that you are very concerned about, but you want something, a point 1 will probably be like, hey, don't do that. But if you, And it did. We had our house dogs touch it and scream a couple of times, but there was that delay, and we know there was a delay because I could rub my finger, like I could take it like this and go like that for a while before it shocked, and that's not good.
It's still light.
And you might only have a second or two to get that shock before the animal's through.
Yeah.
So you do need something instant. I don't know if you need a 6 joule, like you don't need to necessarily feel like a wound was blown in your body.
I disagree. So basically, like the other one, it did work.
Yeah.
However, given this, like how I have it. So for the goats and everything, our goats typically like to go under things. And with any weather, sometimes it makes like a little ravine-ish, and hi baby, and so they like to go under, so I wanted something to deter them, and because it's so low, any weeds touching it basically kind of shorted it out and ruined the effectiveness. This one's review was it was able to do that through weeds and everything, and one of the reviews that actually sold me 100% on this from Princess Auto was that someone watched it shock a ram through the wool. And wool is an insulator, and sheep, that's why like sometimes people will be like keeping sheep contained is really hard because they're using the electric, and wool's an insulator, so it does protect them.
Right.
So I wanted something that was going to work for everybody, but I also wanted it to be able to grow with us.
Right.
As well, because now we have a cow, like if we get a horse or a donkey, we can use it to protect our beehives when they do well from bears. So just all around, we wanted it to do really well. So,
and of course, we only have a small part of the property currently insulated.
Yeah.
Once we expand, the shock will always be less. So it's good to know that we could run the whole property again and still have a punch.
I think it's 50 miles.
Yeah.
Is what this is rated for, so it's important to look at those things, but overall I am pleased with it. The first day I had it, I had to walk around, and from one end of the field to the other one, which is a significant distance, I actually heard the crackle of it because it was shorting out, touching the fence. Like, I heard it was loud.
Right.
And then when I went, there's like little scorch marks on the page of our fence, and at that point I was like, I ain't gonna touch it. And
but you did.
Touched it.
Good.
But everyone's kind of experienced it. They're not a fan. We weren't having problems at the time of them getting out, but we want to move more for a rotational grazing for the interior of our fields to be just electric and not cage wire and electric. So,
and we have to know they respect it.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a training thing now. So they all got it. They all know now. And I missed when the goats and sheep touched it, unfortunately. I just know that they do because of where they were liking to escape into the other field. They no longer do that. So they respect it, which is nice. The dogs respect it, and overall it's been working pretty good, even though I broke my whippersnipper, so I haven't been trimming. It's still working even though there's like some blades of grass touching. When I was actually down front, it was making a tiny crackle, like very light, very faint, but I heard it. And so I looked at the wire, which is close to the ground like I said, and there was some grass touching it. And so I went to pick the grass, and I got shocked through the grass.
That's awesome. Do you want to show us that?
That one was very light. More like irritating, but I'm not going to do it. But Dean can definitely do it. So depending.
Here.
No,
just make a little bridge between your finger and do it for the people.
You do it for people. I've done it for me.
Hey, the video of me touching the electric fence was of me. It's your turn, and I'll do the next one.
Well, if we get more subscribers or a ton of likes and comments on this video, Dean will touch this charger, and you best believe I will make sure that it is not going to short out.
So you heard that, guys. 1,000 likes, and Jessica's going to touch that with her tongue. That is a verbal contract. It might
I don't know if there's love in this relationship, so maybe don't subscribe, I guess, if that's the case.
First,
just like and then on.
This is business. Okay, but anyway, thanks for joining, and that was wonderful, and we really hope we can experience this on camera at some point. Bye. She agreed.